giving you an opportunity to get the full story from the people who tell it best. This is Mediacom Newsleaders.
Hello, I'm James Mauser. You're watching Mediacom Newsleaders. Next month, the big election comes up on April the 6th for the Columbia Public School Board, and we've got one of the candidates right here, Jonathan Sessions. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi, nice to be here.
It's good to have you here. You're a pretty young guy to be running for the school board.
Very much so.
You feel that's one of your great qualifications?
I think that's one of the advantages that I bring to the school board. My age places me in a really unique position. Many of my teachers in the Columbia Public Schools are still teaching, and they're teaching a new generation of students, and I feel that my experience in the Columbia Public Schools was very similar to the experience that the students are currently getting. And I feel that gives me a fresh and informed perspective that I can offer the board when it's creating policies that are going to affect how these students are learning.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you consider to be the biggest challenge facing Columbia Public Schools in the next year?
Well, I'd say in the next year and in the next coming years, the budget's going to be our biggest challenge. The 2012 budget from the state budget is most likely to be even worse than this year's. And that's going to drastically affect not only our district, but districts throughout the state. And it's going to be a matter of thinking about what we're offering and what are the best practices for educating our students, and weighing some tough choices, deciding whether or not to increase class size or eliminate non-core subject areas. Those are the kinds of challenges that this district's going to have to face over the next year. And I feel that my experience in education and as an educator, plus my experience as a business owner here in Columbia, gives me an understanding of both sides of things, working in education and working within budgets, so that I can kind of hit the ground running. This district and this board new members of the board are not going to have a lot of time to ease in to a place on the board.
Well, what do you consider Columbia Public Schools doing right these days, and what would you say they're doing wrong?
I'd say that they're doing a great job of prepping for this tight budget. They're really planning on no increase in no tax increase in property taxes. So they're planning for a very tight budget, and they're planning for the future, making sure that at the end of each year they have a kind of a surplus so they can move on to the next year and plan for opening a third comprehensive high school.
So that's something that schools are doing good.
I think they're doing a great job of preparing our district for the future.
What do you think they're doing that's not the best?
I think that we need to work on several things. I think there are a lot of things that we could streamline in the budget process to make the budget even better than it already, than the tight budget already is going to be. I also think that we need to work on communication to the public, making sure that the needs of the district and the goals, as well as important messages, are getting out to the community and aren't getting lost in the headlines.
What role might the Columbia Public Schools play in addressing the poverty that is found within our community?
I think Columbia has a unique set of resources, and really what the Columbia Public Schools can do is be a catalyst for getting these resources together, and that's families, that's students, that's early childhood development programs, and that's our community as a whole, to make sure that we're addressing poverty and the achievement gap right when it begins at birth.
If people would like more information, you got a website they can go to?
I do. It's sessionsforschoolboard.com, and that's Sessions for School Board, all spelled out.
www.sessionsforschoolboard.com.
Yes.
Board.com.
Yes.
And find out more about Jonathan Sessions, who's running as a candidate for Columbia Public Schools Board of Education. Good to see you today.
Great to be here, James.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
You've been watching Mediacom Newsleaders. Join us next time when you get an opportunity to get the full story from reliable sources exclusively on Mediacom Newsleaders.